What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. As you guys can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Marvel's Avengers Nick Fury. And I have heard a lot of talk surrounding this figure, some good, some bad. We're going to get into it and discuss all of that because I want to see what this figure is really about, and you guys are about to take this adventure with me. So let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging so we can bust this figure out and see what he's all about. Now for the sexy packaging, as you guys can see, they did go with the slimmer box, which I'm perfectly fine with because that means it's going to fit into my storage without taking up too much space. You've got the window right there where you can see the figure, a serious looking Samuel L. Jackson right there, which I love because normally when he makes this look, he's about to say something funny, but be completely serious about it. It says Marvel's The Avengers right there, Tamashii Nation's quality sticker, so you know it's authentic. Tamashii Nation's Bandai at the top, nothing going on. Nothing much at the bottom. You do have an image of him right here with his hands behind his back. Now on here, you do have this look where he's kind of looking off to the side. I will say that that sculpt looks very, very soft, but we'll take a look at that in just a sec. Right here, you do have a full body image of him, and he's just looking like his normal ticked off self. And then, of course, on the back, you do have some poses you can get him into, which they didn't really get him into anything full of action, but I mean, he just kind of sits back and watches. So it makes sense. And then, of course, you do have all the legal stuff at the bottom that no one cares about. So let's go ahead and bust this guy out because I'm ready to take a look at this figure. Now, straight out of the packaging, I can definitely say I'm willing to get behind some of the people that weren't exactly on board with the way that this head sculpt looks. That was the main thing that I saw a lot of people complaining about. They were saying that they did Mace Windu, and the Mace Windu looked pretty good. And then you have this one, which is definitely a lot softer of a sculpt. Honestly, there's like no sculpted detail in the forehead, so it kind of makes him look like he's younger. I don't know. I'm just going to show you guys the box. As you guys can see on the box, he kind of has a few wrinkles. Maybe a little bit more detail in the face. I don't really know what they could have done, being that I'm not a sculptor, painter, customizer, anything like that. But it definitely does look a little soft because if you look at the top of the head, the back, everything, there's not really much going on. So I can see why people don't really care for this head sculpt. But at the end of the day, it still looks just like Samuel L. Jackson. It just looks like a younger Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know. I feel like it's something else though. Something is off. Maybe it's the eye. I'm not entirely sure. It's weird when you see Tamashii Nations do these head sculpts because some of them come out so good, and then others it's like, yo, what happened? Like the Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is amazing. I feel like the Robert Downey Jr. is amazing, but for whatever reason they can't nail Chris Evans. His just looked pretty bad. So I don't know. But I see it. I see exactly what you guys are talking about. But other than the head sculpt, I will say I do like how they have his earpiece sculpted on there. As you guys can see, he's got his little Bluetooth going. The eye patch, not any detail in it. It's just a black color, more of a matte black. But I do like all the different colored blacks that this figure has. As you guys can see, it's pretty matte in some areas, and then it's more metallic in others. Like the trench coat has this crazy shine to it all down the arms and everything, as you guys can see. Then underneath you have this flat black, almost like a grayish color. And then even the pants, they look like they're navy blue. Honestly, they look like a really, really dark navy blue, or even more of a gray, but still they look nice. I really love all the sculpted details on him. As you guys can see, he does have the I forget what people call this. It's just the soft plastic piece. Some people like it, some people hate it. Personally, I don't mind. But as you guys can see, he's got the buckles right here, the straps on the boots. Everything looks good. The jacket looks a little plain, but to be honest, I think that's accurate. I'm pretty sure that it's accurate because they normally nail these. But yeah, you've got some sculpted wrinkles in the arms and sleeves and things right here, but not a whole lot going on. But it still looks nice. I feel like he's going to look fine in your collection. And as far as the detail, the only thing I feel like is lackluster is just the head sculpts. But that's what everyone is having an issue with anyway. But yeah, let's go ahead and put him back, see how tall he stands so we can dive into that articulation. Now, as far as the height goes on this guy, as you can see to the top of his head, he's literally right at about 6 inches. I don't know how tall Samuel L. Jackson is in real life, and I've never really paid attention to how he kind of sizes up with the others in the movies, but I will be doing a ton of Marvel MCU size comparisons later on, so be sure to check that out. Now, as far as the articulation goes, he looks up about that much before the back of his head is touching the trench coat. He looks down to the point I popped the head off. I do that a lot in my reviews. He looks down about that much, which is fine because the chin is literally touching the chest. He does get tilt, as you guys can see, so you can get that "what you mean" look out of him, or you guys know what he likes to say, mother effer, all the time. So yeah, you can totally get that out of him for sure. His little pissed off look, I love that. That look of, are you stupid? Anyway, his arm goes out about that much. He does have a butterfly joint. That's about as much as you can bring his arms in, which I feel like that's fine. The trench coat kind of blocks some of it. And then he does have not a wide chest, but it's wide to the point that you can't really bring it in any more than that. You can pull on these, and I mean, you can get him to put his hands together if you wanted to, so that's cool. He does have a swivel right here at the bicep. I love that. Single jointed elbows. You can't really bring them in more than that, but honestly, do you really need to? His hands are on, let's see, a pretty small ball peg, but they go on and come off fine, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. He does have a diaphragm joint, as you guys can see. He doesn't really lean back much. Actually, that was a lie. He does lean back, but the jacket is kind of going to pop him back forward anyway, because once it starts pressing against the back of the legs, he's not going to stay in that position. He does crunch forward, not much. Most of it is going to come from the waist, as you guys can see, but he does get side-to-side movement, and you can turn that, even though I don't see why you would want to, because the zipper is not going to line up. At the waist, as you guys can see, he turns just fine. Like I said, this crotch piece is a floating piece, and as you can see, the leg will even cover over it, so you've kind of got to maneuver that around a little bit. His legs are, I don't think there's a drop down, I can't tell, but he can kick forward that much, so if he wanted to kick someone in the face, he can totally do it. He does the splits about that much. He does, of course, have a built-in thigh swivel. That works very well. Knees move back very well. So if you want to pose this guy running or him just giving somebody a quick knee, he can totally do that. His foot doesn't really go down much about that. Up, not much either. Even the ankle articulation is a little bit hindered, but I still feel like you can plant that forward. We'll check that out and see. But he does have a toe hinge as well. So let's check that real quick. I want to see if we got him in like an action pose. I'm just going to put him in a boxing pose. Let's see. Nothing spectacular. So let's see here. Yeah, so still, even though his ankle articulation is a little limited, you can still get them planted flat on the ground, no problem. So I think they did a good job with that. Articulation-wise, this works for me. Now, for accessories, you don't get a whole lot with this guy, but I mean, that's to be expected. He doesn't have any crazy superpowers, nor will he come with any ridiculous effect pieces, because he rarely does anything at all at this point. But he comes with a default head sculpt, as you guys can see, where he just has this serious look, a pair of gloved fist hands. He comes with a pair of gloved reaching hands, or you can use these for stylish poses, whichever you choose. He comes with a pair of trigger hands. These are also gloved, as you guys can see, and there's a reason I'm saying that they're gloved, because outside of that, he comes with a pair of ungloved hands. These are not the same sculpt for you that think they might have just painted over them. It's the same style, but it's not the same sculpt. So he comes with those. He comes with a pair of fist hands, and I'm very happy they included these. These are hands they could have easily left out, but to make this more worth it, they decided to throw it in. He also comes with a pointing finger. This is for the right hand, where his index finger is extended. He could be saying "Go Avengers" or whatever. Unfortunately, for the ungloved hands, he doesn't come with a pair of trigger hands, so you can't use his pistol, as you guys can see, with the ungloved hands. But this guy likes to be untrackable, so why would he shoot a pistol without his gloves on, just in case he drops the weapon or something. I don't know. But yeah, he also comes with a head where he's kind of looking to the side a bit. Still has that disappointed look. Honestly, I think this is probably the same exact sculpt. Nothing's different about it. It's just like that, look, or you disgust me. Whatever it is. I don't know. As you guys can see, he still has the Bluetooth in. And it looks fine. Once again, it's just that very soft sculpt that we are dealing with the primary head sculpt, basically. But still fine that they threw this in. I'm happy with the accessories we get with this guy. Now let's go ahead and move on to those size comparisons. Now, one thing I do like about this figure as well with the accessories is that you can actually plug the pistol into the holster. And I know that's something small. Yeah, Marvel Legends has done it, but it's still cool. And I just wanted to throw it out there. Now for some size comparisons, here he is standing next to a couple SH Figuarts. We do have the SH Figuarts Cap versus Cap, Captain America, the SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame Final Battle Edition Iron Man, and the SH Figuarts movie version Black Widow, and I absolutely cannot wait for this movie to release. Next up, here he is standing next to a Mafex or Metacom toy, Spider-Man Far From Home upgraded suit, the SH Figuarts Avengers Infinity War Bucky, and this is with the Manipple head sculpt for those of you wondering, and the Mafex or Metacom toy Avengers Infinity War Thor. Now to size it up a bit, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts Mark IV War Machine, the SH Figuarts Avengers Infinity War Black Panther, and I believe the SH Figuarts Avengers Infinity War Hulk. I don't know. It could be from one of the other movies, but yeah, here's a Hulk. Lastly, here he is standing next to an SH Figuarts Guardians of the Galaxy Gamora, which is a figure I feel like a lot of people slept on. Go check out my review of this figure if you haven't already. The Marvel Legends Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home, and the SH Figuarts Avengers Infinity War first release Thanos. Now, I'll be honest, this isn't exactly the most exciting figure to add to your Avengers collection, especially after you have characters like Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor, all of those different characters. But at the end of the day, if you are collecting these and you have seen the MCU movies, then you know exactly what the character of Nick Fury has done for these characters. He pretty much established the foundation that all of these characters are based off of. And so adding him to your collection, in my opinion, it's a treat. I feel like it's a treat from Tamashii Nations to say, hey, well, we've given you mostly all of the Avengers. Let's go ahead and add the founder of them all. And so I really like it. It doesn't seem like they half did this figure. Honestly, the only complaint I have with it is the soft head sculpt. Now, I don't know what goes into designing these, what goes into producing these, but I just don't get how sometimes it's a hit or it's a miss, and it's either completely on point or it's completely off. Either way, I'm fine with this. I mean, it still looks like Samuel L. Jackson, just kind of looks like a younger version of him with, once again, a little less detail than it should have, but he's going to fit in your collection just fine. I've taken quite a few pictures with him. He looks very well with the other characters, and this figure does what it's supposed to do, so I'm happy with it. I think you guys will be happy too. I don't believe this guy is, he's not a web exclusive or anything, so he shouldn't be too expensive. I do believe I paid right around $60 for him. So, he's not ridiculously priced. So you guys should be able to get your hands on him, no problem. But overall, I hope you guys did enjoy this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe wherever you are. Peace.